And hi everyone, this is Jen coming to you live once again from Singapore. And for those who are catching me for the first time, I'm a working mom to two teenage boys, and also an online business owner. And those that have been following me the last few days will know that I'm embarking on this 10 days Go Live journey. And today is my day 8, where today is actually my last and third interview with business partners. So without further ado, I am going to introduce this very awesome business partner I have. Her name is Jelyn. Like me, she's a full-time working mom and of course also turned digital entrepreneur. So without further ado, let me welcome Jelyn. Hi Jelyn, thank you so much
Hello,
for
Jen.
inviting my invite. I know you have a very tight work schedule as well, and you got back from work
Mm,
just to rush for
yes,
this. Thank you so much. So could you
no
maybe help
problem. Thank you for having me.
introduce yourself a little bit to our audience who are catching us today?
Sure. So, hello everyone. My name is Jelyn. I am from Singapore also, and like Jen, I'm also a full-time working mother. I have two children. They are in primary school now. One is an 11-year-old girl, and the other is a 9-year-old boy.
Thank you so much. It's really not easy for us working mom to manage work, manage kids, and running a side hustle. So
That's right.
and of course
Yeah, like
having to
octopus.
very very multitasking, and of
Yeah.
course we all have to deal with a lot of other things like mom's guilt, right? As well, working mom. So can you just
Mm.
share with us before you embark on this online business, what were some of the challenges you face day to day and some of the struggles that you were facing?
Mm, okay, I think before I embarked on the business, the main struggle that I was facing was um, not having enough time. Like, every one of us have 24 hours, but it
Yes.
never seemed to be enough. And yeah, so, and I am not really someone who can multitask. So it was a challenge for me to have to multitask, and I'm still learning even till this day to try and multitask. So and when we went into the pandemic and we actually had the lockdown, that's where we had to work remotely from home, and the children also could not go to school and they had
Mm,
to do their learning home based. So that was when things started to get a little, not little, I would say, in fact, very hectic at home for me because I had to juggle, my job on one hand and juggle, children on the other hand, whereby I have got to attend to even trying to cook meals for them because I am not somebody, my cooking is very private limited. So it was a
funny.
challenge trying to do new. Yeah, it was a challenge trying to do new things, like, so many things to do. Suddenly I got to work, I got to look after them, I got to coach them in their work, and I'm not
Mm,
exactly uh, very capable of handling their coaching them in their work because the level is getting more and more difficult these days.
yes.
Then I have to do cooking. So I was like all over the place, and I realized that I was having a problem with time. I was like trying to manage my time, and yet I was struggling because uh, I couldn't devote my attention entirely to just my work or to my children.
Mm,
And both my work and my children actually uh, required my attention, and I couldn't give them the, undivided attention. So it was a challenge, and it got me um, nearly on the verge of a burnt out. Yeah,
mm,
from the corporate world, and yet also trying to juggle so many hats suddenly concurrently at the same time.
yeah.
So yeah, so that kind of like got me very, I was always very cranky, very annoyed, and I wasn't exactly, um being the most patient mom to my
Mm,
children when they were at home, because there are so many times I have to attend to work, but then they also were like, mommy, mommy. So it's like
yeah.
I always say children, especially when they are at home, you hear 300 times of mummies or more than that in the day. So that was like what was happening to me at that time. And I was struggling. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my main struggle that time.
Mm-mm. I can really resonate with that, right? And especially when we work from home, we actually are expected to live up to a certain standard because our
Correct.
bosses expect us to respond promptly, right? And in
That's
fact, you
right.
put in a lot more effort and time, even when we are, especially when we are working from home. And especially
Correct.
if you help with kids around and more than one kid, everything is demanding of us lah. Yeah. So
Correct.
it can be quite overwhelming. So can you share like
Very overwhelming.
how does that actually prompts you want to explore an online business?
Mm, okay. At that point of time, I actually, when I chanced upon this online business, I was actually serving my notice period already, because I
Ah,
tendered my resignation.
mm,
With so many things happening, and I was on the verge of burnout and stuff like that. And like what you say, once we actually shifted um to working remotely from home, there are more expectations and more demands from your work.
mm,
You no longer have the excuse of saying, "Oh, my laptop is at work. I cannot attend to you right now. Let me get back to you tomorrow," because now
yep,
you're working too. Your laptop is right there beside you. So then, yeah. So your there will be certain expectations from your bosses or your
mm,
clients,
mm,
that they will be expecting a reply promptly, because you have your tool readily with
yep,
you. And that was something that I was doing a lot, even after 6 o'clock, because in the day I had to, like, juggle my time. So there are some work where I can only try and do after dinner and things like that. And that's
mm,
where my girl at that time, she was 9 year old. So she saw that happen a few times, and then she started to, like, ask casually. It started casually, and then she was like saying, "Mommy, it's already past 6 o'clock. Why are you still working?" So I was like,
mm,
"Oh, because in the day I didn't manage to do this yet. So give me 5 more minutes. Let me reply to this email."
yep,
So it
mm,
happened not just once, not just twice, but it the question came a few more times, and I realized that, oh, okay, I needed to do something about it, because I was neither satisfied. I mean, I was neither meeting the expectations of my boss at work, and I was not meeting the expectations of my children at home.
mm.
Both were, like, trying to get a piece of
Yes,
me, and I didn't have enough to give them back. So that was when
mm,
I actually had
I
decided
see.
that, between my work and my children, I had to choose between one during that
Right.
time. So and that was when I chose family, my children, over work, and I actually tendered my resignation there and then.
I
So while
see.
I was serving my notice period, it is a 2 month notice period. I was a PA, personal assistant in an accounting firm. So during that time when I was serving my notice period, I was casually scrolling through my social feed one of the nights where, during my me time, as mothers, my me time only start after my children are asleep.
Yes.
Yeah. So then one of the nights I was just casually scrolling. And then, yeah, so I was presented with this business opportunity. And I thought, that kind of like strike me, because I realized that I didn't have a backup plan. I
Right.
realized that
Yes.
then, my why was so strong. Okay, between work and family, if I can't juggle them properly and I want to give my undivided attention to either one, then I chose my
Mm,
family. But
yeah.
then, yes, the why was very strong in choosing my children, my family. But then what next? I realized that, I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have
Mm,
like extra savings that I could count back on, or I
mm,
didn't
mm,
even plan ahead, as in, like, oh, after these 2 months, when you are done serving your notice, then if you still haven't found another job by then, what are you going to do?
Mm,
So
mm.
that was when it kind of like got me thinking I should look for something else.
I
But
see.
then, you know, I would be going to the same vicious cycle if I actually settle on another job, another full-time job.
Yeah.
So at that time, at that point of time, I was actually hoping and wishing that I could find something or a solution that could let me um, work around my schedule, as in like I can actually just work on it without disrupting my time with my children.
Mm, mm.
So
Right.
I was like telling myself, okay, lah, wishful thinking, you wish, but then 哪里有这么好的事? So
Yeah.
then I was I saw this opportunity, and then
Yes,
I
yes.
was like, oh, there's really such a
You
thing.
mean
I
the
mean,
such thing?
I yeah, so maybe I could give it a try because everything the post was talking about was what I was looking for. I was looking for something for busy mothers. I was looking for a plan B that I could count on and work on using pockets of my free time and still be able to go around handling my daily commitments without
Right,
any
right.
disruption.
Mm, mm.
So that was really what got me interested to find out more and to decide to explore this online business.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing because what really strikes me very hard is that you hear the calling from from your girl, right? That it's really like repeatedly getting into you. You realize that you need to do something, and we have really, or rather, many of us have this in common: is we never thought that there's always another solution. We always thought that it's either work or family, and we have to choose between one. And
Correct.
very often we always think that it's our wishful thinking, that how we wish we can be at home with our children, yet earn money and yet do things at our flexible time. It's like our own wishful thinking, right? But not knowing that
Correct.
actually such opportunity exists. So I'm so glad, we actually chanced upon this opportunity, and here we are,
Yes.
sharing this wonderful opportunity with other people who are in the same situation as we, and hoping we can build our own plan B. So thanks again for sharing. um,
My
I know you
pleasure.
have been on this business for quite a while. Can you just share with us what were some of the biggest transformation that you have seen in yourself since you started this online business?
Okay. I think the biggest change there have been many changes. There has been a great transformation that went on uh, within me. But I guess out of so many, I guess the biggest transformation now is that um, I'm able to do a lot of things that I didn't used to think I could. So a
Mm,
lot of things like even appearing live in front of the camera, speaking to
yes,
you, speaking to an audience was something that I
yes.
didn't think I could do. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
and I it was something I never thought or rather imagined that I'll be doing, except for the Teams or Zoom call that I'll be doing at work with my colleagues. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
but
Mm,
this business has helped me gain confidence. It
mm.
has actually helped me gain a lot of time back. Of course, after I started this business acts as a source of my passive income. Like what I say, is a plan B that I have. So I still hold on to a full time job right now. But I'm so glad that, with this business, I have been in this for about nearly 2 years now. This November will be my second year doing this. And, last time before I had this business, I always would, how we always set a New Year resolution and we always
Yeah.
have goals or plans or 3-year plan, 5-year plan, and things like that. So I'm also one of them who always be setting, my early retirement plan, my goals and my resolution, but I
Mm,
could never see to it. It
mm,
it's always being postponed and postponed and postponed. But after coming into this business, when I came into this business, I set a 5-year goal for myself. And to me, when I came into this business, I thought, okay, it might be another, like another 5-year plan that you set. And then, you will be pushed again. But
Mm,
amazingly, with this business platform, with the system and everything that I've experienced personally for myself right now, nearly 2 years into it, I'm very thankful to say that instead of hitting it in 5 years, I can even see it happening sooner than that. Yeah. So then, something that I never thought would happen or I could achieve a plan that I set for myself, I can now see it coming to being realized.
yes. And
Yeah.
earlier.
And earlier, yes.
Yes.
And yeah, and last time, all the while I've been somebody who, typical woman who rely on the husband for, the for household expenses, for income. And and um it would never occur to me that as a woman, I or even after hitting my 40s, I'm still able to earn my own keep, and even now help out or supplement the household income. So I've
Mm-mm.
also gained financial independence, and something that I didn't think that I could actually have, and help out as well in the
Yeah,
family.
this is awesome. This is fantastic because um, really this business have not only, like you say, given you the financial independence, but it allows you to gain back your, or rather improve on your self-confidence and allow you to do a lot of things you never thought you could do. But actually, we do have a lot of
Mm,
untapped potential inside us, right? And because
I realized.
yeah, we step out our comfort zone, then that's why we can do like you say, just doing all this go live. We including myself never ever thought I could do this. So it's really a lot of huge transformation that sometimes even money can't buy. Yeah.
Correct.
So I truly truly so impressed by your transformation, and I want to thank you so much for sharing with us,
No.
with our audience. So maybe before we end our session today, can I get you to maybe share some words of inspiration for our audience who are watching us live or replay?
To tell the audience is, you are never too old to learn something new. Yeah, like even for myself, I used to think that 女人过了40了, then I got no more value already. Then if I were to pick up something new, how am I going to master it? But I realized that, um, don't be locked up, in with that mindset, because
Yes.
you are never
Mm,
too old to learn something new, or it's never too old for you to start something new. Like how I started a business after 40s
mm,
as well.
yeah.
And a lot of things I would say that I use, of course, starting an online business, especially, I used to have done several small ventures in the past, and it didn't work out, and it was very discouraging, because you start something and you fail,
Mm,
because
yeah.
it's either there's too much logistics involved, or it's a one-man show. But
Mm,
with this business, so I had the same um, worry or concerns before I stepped up and wanted to try starting something new again.
mm,
But um I can hear a lot of, a lot of hearsay. It's like you say she think, then who confirm. So in the end, the only way I can see if this business is something that can work for me was to find out myself.
mm,
I instead of like just stepping back and thinking, okay, worrying about this and that, is it a scam, is it going to work, or is it going to fail again like my other businesses? If I
mm,
don't, or or even things like, from what people say about the business, some might even think that it's too good to be true. Like, are you
Yes.
sure? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but I can go on and on about what we hear and what all the hearsay that we have been getting, but you will never, like what I always tell my audience, you will never ever know whether what they say is true because you did not find out for yourself, and it works differently for everyone.
Yeah.
So you
Mm.
never find out for myself, like if I didn't step out 21 months ago to find out for myself, and if I didn't experience it personally myself, whether it was the monetary gain or whether it was the personal growth, I would not nothing would have changed if I didn't find out for myself. So I
Right.
want to tell the audience, um, don't don't worry about too many things, because especially at this, if you think that you are too old to learn or start something new, then don't waste more time worrying. Step
Yes.
up and start something, because you are never too old to start something new. And
Yeah.
for somebody like me who wasn't very tech savvy, if I can now, if I can do it, I believe a lot of other people can. And this business is really um, very, I would say all the heavy lifting are actually done for us, which is why I'm able to do this. So for someone who's not tech savvy like me, all the heavy lifting is done for me, and the business is in pretty much automated, and
Mm.
there's automation in the system. And I think the biggest plus for me in this business is that, unlike the businesses that I used to do last time, where it was a lot of one man show,
Mm.
this business, I wouldn't need to feel that I'm struggling alone to make it work or to
Mm.
succeed,
Yeah.
because we have a strong group of global community where there's strong mentorship. You get a lot of support and guidance from your mentors or your coaches, even though this is a business that we own ourselves. But
Yeah.
we are not running this alone, because anytime we are stuck, or if we need any advice, or any sharing of experience, our we can always tap on the community to actually help us. So I guess this community, this mentorship support, is something that I really love about the business.
Mm.
And this is one of the main difference that actually work as to why I didn't succeed before, because I was always doing it alone, and
Mm.
why I'm still doing this 21 months later and even going stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, for your sharing. And you are so right,
Thank
because
you.
in this online business, we are never alone, even though we are our own boss, right? We are never alone because of the strong community, the mentorship, and the coaching that we have.
Hmm.
So you're never too late. I can totally resonate with you, and because I'm also in my 40s, we are all not non-tech savvy. But if it's something I've been looking for, wanting a plan B for yourself, and
Hmm.
having a change in your life, start taking the first step, and until you find out for yourself. If not, you will never be able to know whether is it for you or not. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, with that, thank you so much, Jelyn,
My
for being
pleasure.
here. And today is our last interview, and tomorrow I'll continue my day 9 of the sharing at 7:15 p.m. and look forward to seeing all of you again. With that, once again, thanks, Jelyn. Thanks,
Thank you for
everybody.
having me. Thank you,
Yeah, pleasure
everyone.
to be here.
Bye bye.
Bye.